Outlander returns with another tense chapter as Season 8, Episode 5, Send for the Devil, pushes the Fraser family into one of their most dangerous moments yet. The episode centers around a looming confrontation between Jamie Fraser and Cunningham's militia, setting up a battle where only one side can walk away victorious. But while Jamie prepares to face his enemies head-on, the rest of the Fraser family is left waiting anxiously, knowing that the outcome of this conflict could change everything. The episode immediately places the entire family in a state of quiet dread. Everyone is waiting for news, hoping that the people they love will return safely. Brianna worries about Roger, while Claire's thoughts are entirely focused on Jamie. The tension comes from the fact that both women know the dangers ahead. Yet there's little they can do. Jamie has already made his decision. Despite Claire begging him not to go, he refuses to back down. From Jamie's perspective, this fight is unavoidable. Cunningham and his men have threatened him on his own land and betrayed the trust he once gave them. For a man like Jamie Fraser, that kind of betrayal cannot go unanswered. Claire understands this better than anyone. She knows Jamie's sense of duty and honor, and she knows that once he has made up his mind, nothing will change it. Still, she tries to convince him otherwise. Her plea isn't about logic, it's about fear. The thought of losing Jamie is something she can barely bring herself to imagine. As the night stretches on, Claire prepares for what could become a long and agonizing wait, yet she isn't entirely alone during those hours. Elspeth comes to sit with her, creating one of the episode's most emotionally complex moments. Despite being on opposite sides of the conflict, Claire and Elspeth have formed a reluctant but genuine bond. Claire never expected to become close to her, but over time she has come to respect and care about her deeply. Now, with the storm raging outside and the fate of their loved ones uncertain, the two women share the same unbearable fear. Claire may lose Jamie, and Elspeth may lose her son. In many ways, both women are experiencing the same nightmare from opposite sides of the war. Instead of standing as enemies, they sit together through the night, quietly confronting the possibility that their lives may change forever by morning. Elspeth's character becomes particularly fascinating in this episode because of the emotional struggle she faces. She repeatedly tells herself that her son's actions are honorable. In her mind, he is simply staying loyal to his oath to the crown, and Jamie's alliance with the rebels has placed him on the wrong side of that. But the more she repeats that reasoning, the more it feels like she is trying to convince herself. Deep down, Elspeth knows the truth. Her son is betraying a man who once gave them shelter and a home. She understands the weight of that betrayal, and it clearly troubles her. At the same time, she genuinely doesn't want Jamie to be harmed. More importantly, she doesn't want Claire, someone she has grown to care about, to suffer the devastating loss that could follow. Yet the reality remains unavoidable. Her son is directly responsible for the events unfolding in Send for the Devil. Unable to face that truth fully, Elspeth clings to the belief that her son is doing the honorable thing. It's the only way she can maintain her composure and continue looking Claire in the eye, while knowing the danger her son represents. While the emotional tension builds at Fraser's Ridge, another complicated figure enters the situation: Cleveland. Earlier in the story, Jamie had called for Cleveland's help, but Cleveland deliberately waited until it was far too late to respond. His delay wasn't accidental. It was a calculated move meant to make Jamie pay for rejecting him in the past. Now Cleveland finally appears, but his intentions are far from generous. Rather than offering help out of loyalty or respect, he arrives expecting payment. In his mind, Jamie still owes him for answering the call, even though Cleveland never actually provided the protection Jamie needed. Jamie understands exactly what Cleveland is doing, but his options are limited. With enemies gathering and tensions escalating, he can't afford to turn away someone who could potentially become either an ally or a dangerous adversary. This leads to an even bigger question. What does Cleveland truly want from Jamie? There's a strong possibility that Cleveland will try to bring Jamie into his own militia, creating an uneasy alliance between the two men. However, such an arrangement would be incredibly complicated. Jamie Fraser has always followed his own code of honor, while Cleveland is known for using brutal tactics that Jamie clearly opposes. Because of that, it's difficult to imagine Jamie willingly following Cleveland's orders for long. At the same time, openly defying Cleveland would be incredibly risky. He has already proven himself to be powerful and unpredictable, and Jamie can't afford to make another enemy right now. Adding another layer to the situation is the fact that Jamie had already begun forming his own militia before Cleveland arrived. The question now is whether he will continue building that force, or whether Cleveland's presence will complicate those plans. Most likely, Cleveland will become the kind of ally Jamie is forced to tolerate from a distance, someone who offers occasional support, but can never truly be trusted. In reality, Cleveland also has reasons not to push Jamie too far. After all, when Jamie originally called for help, Cleveland responded far too late. That delay weakens his claim to any real authority over Jamie. For now, the relationship between them seems destined to remain uneasy and fragile as Outlander Season 8 continues to unfold. The events of Send for the Devil make one thing clear: the dangers surrounding Fraser's Ridge are only growing. With betrayals, shifting alliances, and powerful enemies emerging, the Fraser family is heading toward even bigger conflicts in the episodes ahead. And if this episode is any indication, the most dangerous battles may not be fought with swords, but with loyalty, trust, and the difficult choices people make when everything is on the line.